Right, well, hello everyone. I'm sort of excited to host and announce the talk today on engagement on the funding stream, of course, about the power of right pages. Before I pass on to our sort of wonderful host for the actual sort of main panel, Jiri, I'm going to just go through some kind of organizational stuff, which you're probably aware of at this point, having gone to several talks. First of all, like try and keep the walkway open, just for like fire safety stuff. As well, I want to welcome people online, for which that's probably less relevant. But what is sort of useful for everyone is to engage, of course, with a Q&A. So not just offering up questions, but as well voting on the questions which other people have offered. So then we can make the most of the Q&A at the end and really enjoy the opportunity. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over now to Jerry. There we go.
Hello, I'm Iri, or Jiri, or Jiri, but no one can pronounce that. I promise this is the last session for the engagement and fundraising stream, and most importantly, this one is not about the donors. So finally, we can all relax and just do the thing we always wanted to do, and that's basically make people do stuff for animals. With that, oh my God, I see so many faces that have been here with us the whole day. Thank you for being so compassionate with all the speakers. I'm so looking forward to this session because I think all of you are doing like amazing work with your websites, with your right tools, and oh my God, like, you took it so well. This is like, a burden upon yourself to build something usable in otwarte and then to overuse it for like 15 times in a year. Oh my God. That's it. That's it. It's yours.
No. The first slide is yours.
So I lied. There is a QR code. You know what to do if you haven't seen it already. But basically, Gig is a network of people. Those people are like cool. They know stuff. But most importantly, they are humble. And they like to share. What that means is that things that happen in one group can super easily happen in another group. It's just about talking about it for like 20 times and then praying, and then it happens. The adoption rate is our enemy, but with Gig, we are facing it, I think, bravely, and thanks to everyone who is always engaged. Can I stop now?
Don't you want to give my whole presentation for me? No? All right. So we're here today to talk about powering and sustaining engagement through right to pages. And what does it exactly mean? Let me tell you in a moment. First, for the context, I'm from Anima International in Poland, and I wanted to start with our basic numbers so that you have a rough idea what we're working with. So over the years, our number of supporters grew and grew. So this is the number of people who actually read and open and read our emails. But our activist numbers, so people who take action, like for example, write email to this politician or leave a comment under this social media post of the company, they weren't so great, and there wasn't really any ideas what to do about it. And as you can see, 2025 is a huge change compared to previous years. So from our last campaign, it's over 3,500 people who confirmed writing emails to politicians. So that's quite a lot compared to previous years. And we have achieved that in Poland thanks to the right to page. So the right to page basically is a website where you get people to send messages to the target of your public campaign. It can be companies, it can be politicians. And the important part of this definition is that you need to get people to do this action, right? And it's not that easy. In order for people to take action, they need to be motivated. And motivation is not that easy to achieve, right? Like if just wishing for people to take action would be enough, then we would have thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people taking action, because we definitely really want them to. But to achieve that, we need to answer some key questions, like why should I, as the supporter, do this? We need to present a reasonable theory of change, like why writing email to this company will help animals. It needs to be understandable for the supporter. And we also need to answer the question, will this actually work? Like, what is the chances of this actually being a success? For example, now there is a real chance of Furban happening in Poland, and we have to show people that this is an important moment. And finally, why me? Why me, Ola, the supporter, need to do it? Like, can't someone else take care of it? And there's where social proof and empowering supporter-centric language come into play. So all the things that you heard about if you attended our year-end session are applicable here as well. And then finally, how can I do it? And here's where the Right to Pages help. They can be a great tool to guide people through the whole process of taking an action. And if you have all those elements combined, then you can count on people actually taking action, because you made it easier for them. You created an opportunity, a reason, and a way to take the action. But this is all to say that Right to Page is just a page. It's just a tool. It's a website. So you should never mistake it for your whole strategy. And we have learned it the hard way. Now I will show you some chart that I'm not very much proud of. So this is a chart of action takers per day in the campaign to some supermarkets in Poland. And as you can see, it is slowly declining throughout the month. And it's quite bad because, we expect the engagement to grow over time. And imagining you were a CEO of some company and you will get some emails, but then the next week you get less, and then less, and less, and less, and less. Like, it's fine, it passed, like there is no emergency, I don't have to care about it, they will forget about this issue. So this chart is what we really should try to avoid. But the issue was, we just started using the Right to Page, where people could send emails to those supermarkets. And we thought it would be enough. Like, we have the website, let's send people to the website. And that was the whole strategy, basically. And then we didn't have any updates, any interesting things to say to people, no new motivation for them to actually take the action. So it slowly declined. And only after organizing an event in the real life, so having a protest in front of the headquarters of the supermarket, we had increased engagement, and it was the best day in the whole campaign. The most emails were sent on that day and the day after the protest. And at least we have learned our lessons, and this is the chart from ongoing Furban mobilization campaign. So numbers of emails being sent per day, and you can see all those spikes and the overall upwards tendency that we want to see in the campaigns. And first few spikes are because of emails. So that's what we started with. That's the best converting medium. But then we also had a big spike after a friendly influencer shared the website on their page, on their Instagram. And he has a pretty nice, engaged community, so there was a lot of emails sent after that. But you can also see all those smaller numbers here, and these are our activists taking actions. And it adds up over time and creates a high volume of email sends. And also, additionally, we run ad campaign for our declaration page and have some automation for people to be redirected to the right to page to take the action. So,
can I maybe just ask one question? Can you get back to the chart, please? Talking about like the different peaks, maybe it would be worth like explaining what happened, like what caused the peaks. Like, was it just because you used some segmentation, or did you just push it at a certain point of the campaign for some reasons, or what changed? You haven't been just like sending all over emails, but like what happened there?
Yeah. So those. First ones were just the beginning of the campaign, so fresh engagement, and then the bigger ones were changing the targets a little bit. So first it was just to one person in the specific president of commission, and then we increased the target pool to a couple of more politicians. So we were like, you already sent an email to this lady, and there are also those few other politicians that need to hear your opinion. So there was something new going on, and we also had updates from meeting politicians in the parliament, and things were dynamically changing, so it was interesting actually. And going back to the declaration page, so we run ad campaigns for the declaration page where people can sign, and basically it says that, yes, I want to fight for the Furban in Poland, and then we get their email, and we ask them to write messages to politicians, and they either complete it, and then we continue to engage them even more and ask them to become monthly donors, or they don't complete it at the first time, and then we continue to pester them and send them reminders. And interesting thing that I have found out is that it seems to work pretty well when you make the reminders look like they come from the system, because the system knows about everything you do, and the system knows that you haven't finished an action to help animals. So yeah, that seems to be a good tactic to experiment with. Even those robotic programmer type fonts. And from the chart and from our experience, the key message that I want you to take away from it is that Write to Pages are a great tool, but they are just the tool. And for your whole campaign, you obviously need different building blocks for it to be successful, and combining them is the best you can do to achieve the success. And now that it's hopefully clear, let's actually talk about how the Write to Pages can look like. So there are two main types that we use. And the first one is so-called advanced write-to-page, and the second one is so-called simple write-to-page. So in the advanced page, we can have a long list of possible targets, like, for example, 460 Polish politicians. But then we also need to have a way to prioritize them, because some of them are against the Furban and some of them are already convinced, so we don't need to write to them. So the advanced website allows for flexible prioritization of those targets. Meanwhile, on the simple page, there is a predefined and short list of targets. The best is just to have one single target. And the next difference is that in the advanced page, we have a complex user flow. So the user has to take a lot of steps to complete the action, and you will see this on the example from Emilia. In the simple write-to-page, the user flow is less complex. There are fewer steps, but still some important features are preserved. So the website has its own database and system integrations, and it's able to save information about completed action and the source where the user came from. And we, for now, in Poland, we use the simple write-to-page, and we are in the process of developing the advanced write-to-page. And here's for the reference, here is a video of how the user goes through the simple write-to-page that we currently use. So I will play you the video and I will briefly describe what's happening, but it will be around 2 minutes long because even the simple write-to-page is quite complex. Okay, so this is the landing page. User clicks to read some basic information and then inputs their data. So the name, email, and phone number. And it is really important for us to collect this data, because if not for that, then we can't send the reminders. So we require the user to confirm their email. So we require the double opt-in, and only then can the user continue. There is also an option to skip that, but it's not very visible, and that's on purpose. So we really do want to stay connected with the user. So here we confirm the email, and we redirect it back to the page. And there we answer the question, what do we currently do to help animals to increase engagement? And we're asked for donation. Now I skipped it, and this is the writing page with instructions, some examples and arguments that the user can use, and the list of emails to copy. So here's the emails of the politicians, and the user is copying all the info and sending it from their own email client and checking the emails that the user sent. And when all of the emails are sent, the all done button at the bottom is clickable. And then once again we're asked for a donation, and now I agreed to become a monthly donor. So here's the page for monthly donation. So here I could become a monthly donor or just skip it. And then I'm asked to share the page with my friends. So I copy the link, and then it's all done. So there's a thank you page, and that's the end. And this is how it looks in numbers. So when I was working on the presentation, it was around 10,500 users who landed on the website. And out of those over 10,000, we had almost 75% people visiting the writing page, so the page with the instructions and the email addresses and all the examples and the checklist. And then out of all the users, over 31% confirmed actually sending all those emails. And this is quite high, like usually it's around 25%. That was, it was like that on our previous website for cage-free. So I'm very happy with the 31%, because I think it's because of the, importance of the topic, and that people can see the urgency of pushing for the ban right now. And also around 1% people become donors. Some of them monthly, some of them one time. And this website was inspired by websites that other groups in Europe already used before, but it was developed from the ground up by our developer Max, who sadly isn't here with us today. He's alive, but but he's just not on care. So I asked him to provide some notes for me, because I wanted to share his perspective from working on this project. And that's what he wanted you to know. So, in his experience, working on the Right to website was something quite new, and it went against a lot of norms that he learned building our previous websites. And if he could do it all again, he would really take time at the start to make sure he properly internalized the vision that the fundraisers and campaigners had for the website. What is the most important and why? And this would have made work so much smoother. I agree. I agree. It was a mistake not to spend more time on it from the beginning. And then he said also that he found it useful to copy what other organizations in the movement had already done with their websites as a template for what we can do. And his advice is to make use of their expertise and lessons. So it's very fortunate that today we have a couple of experts here that can share their experience. Now giving it up to Dominika.
I will stand up, and that's all right. I would fall asleep when I would be sitting, sorry. So, hi again to all of you who I've seen already. So, I was wondering when Ola approached to me hey, can you tell us a bit more about the Right to website you've created in Albert Schweitzer Stiftung, in the German organization I'm working in. I was really wondering what is the key, what did we really learn creating that website? What is the thing I want to tell you guys? What can you use from what we've learned? And I will kind of repeat myself, because I already said that a lot in the previous session I had. And preparation, surprisingly, is the key, really, preparing everything. And Ola already actually said that as well, as her, IT guy said, making sure that everybody understands why are you creating the website, what is the purpose of the website, why do you need it, how will you use it, what for, is so crucial when you are working with IT people. I mean, you know how it is, we have the idea in our minds, right? We know why are we doing things, we know what do we want to achieve, but then they're IT people, doing their stuff, doing their computers, and I don't understand what they're doing, but you know what I mean, they're completely different people, they're very technically oriented, and there's like two worlds, you know, like so like really preparing, really having those talks, really even for me as an engagement coordinator, talking to campaigners, like what's their goal, and like understanding each other, and what's my goal, of course. Understanding each other is like super important. So take that time, like invest that time into preparations. And talking about preparations, like definitely one of the most important thing is writing everything down, you know, having those instructions for the IT department or IT company or whatever you're working with. And like writing down the requirements you need the website to be able to do. Like, I don't know, that you need CSV experts, that you need to be able to download the answers from the people if you have some questions there, for example. Or, I don't know, whatever, like saving UTM parameters, the basics. But like, it's really important to write it down, to like make sure they understand what do you need from the website. And testing, oh my God, like that's such a pain. Like we always think, you know, like you gave it to IT people, IT company, IT department, whoever, like you give them the task to create the website. And it was like so normal to me as well. Like at the beginning when we created other websites before, it was like, yeah, we are launching, you know, at 21st of September. Like I need the website on, I don't know, 20th maybe, like the evening before, or maybe 21st the morning, like it's fine. Like then I will launch it to the public, right? Like, wow, surprise, surprise, that never works. Like because you always find there is something not working, there are some bugs, there's some like stuff that like just need to be fixed. So like investing time into testing is like one of the like major things I learned. And I actually invest like so much time into it. This year we had like 4 weeks only that were like only about testing, because like we had different testing periods and like parts where the IT people were like fixing bugs and stuff like that. And it was like the best decision ever, because it was the first time we actually launched the website on time. Like we didn't postpone the launch of the campaign. It was like the first time ever. So wow, like definitely testing and like having those dates written down, best thing ever. When I was talking about preparations and writing down stuff, I think like having a proper briefing is the key, like is one of the keys to success. Okay, and in my briefings, what I never like try to never forget is like having some details, as I said, like having the purpose of the website, you know, write down even like an example of a website we are recreating, we are rebuilding, having written out like the user flow, you know, like all these like little details that are important for the IT people so that they understand why are you doing this and what do you want the website to do. Definitely, like, that's also very important, like having written down the roles, because usually it's not just like you and an IT person, right? But there are also like copywriters, graphic designers, then there's maybe a fundraiser included, like a lot of people. And like if you don't like have the roles set, it can happen then suddenly like when you have to postpone and you're super delayed, you're looking at each other and you're like, hey, whose fault is that, right? like who was responsible for that? Like I don't know. That's why I always like try to write that down, because then it's super clear. Okay, like this is your role, like you own this, like you are responsible for that part, and then like we know and we can actually evaluate and like learn from it, right? So that was one of the key things I always have in my briefing. Timeline, super necessary, of course, like talking about the testing, right? Like you want to know when's the testing day, when do you fix stuff, when do you launch it, and stuff like that. So super important. Page overview, understanding, like especially for IT people, right? Like understanding what is which page doing, like that you have some home page, for example. On the home page, there can be like a video, or there can be the form, or maybe the form is on the next page. I don't know, like it can be very different. It depends on your website. But what's very important is to actually writing it down. Like really, what I try to do is like really describing it in words. Like, hey, this website is supposed to collect new regular donors. This one is about single donors. Maybe you can even switch from regular donation to single donation. I don't know, whatever details you can write down, just like write it down. And list of features in general, like exactly, I said that before, like writing down again, like I want the website to do this. I want it to be saving timestamps. I want to know when did this person get the automatic email, the reminder. I just want to know everything, like what I want to know. I just write it down. Like again, like having this list, actually like the IT department was so happy about like having that. It was the first time ever when they told me when we started the cooperation, they were like, wow, we know what you want. Like that's so like, wow, like of course, like super amazing to have that. Just like an example of the briefing, this is the beginning of the briefing. Like this is the purpose, like the details part, just like again writing down what's the purpose, what are we doing there, like that there is some fundraising, that there is a user flow, for example, that there are some links to the text and everything, just like some details, an example. User flow. That's something I copied from Tushtinarvai, because Tushtinarvai is very, very good in creating websites. There's like, they've been doing these websites like when I wasn't even doing fundraising, I think. But like, this is something I copied, like kind of like remade it for the purpose of our website, but having this written down, understanding when is, like what is happening when, like that there are different even like journeys, you know, because like the user can come there and at a certain point he can leave, for example, and they should get a reminder, right? Or maybe they go through the flow and they never donate. Then it's very smart to actually send them an automatic email and like remind them of donating. Or maybe they just fill out the form and leave. And like with like having that written down, having that like graphically pictured in a way is so helpful, because then when you actually do testing, you understand that there are so many possible ways. So again, like this was super helpful. And testing itself, I already mentioned that. Having a clear plan, like I said before, like it's like 4 weeks of testing. I really like wrote down like the moment I want to have the testing version, the moment I have a testing day, then that there is an implementation part when they are fixing the bugs, you know, and stuff like that, the technical stuff I don't understand. But like then I have another testing day where we all gather in the organization and we try the website. We are really going through each possibility, through each flow, and then I can just like again summarize what happened there and like send it to the IT people. And the last one, last thing, this is an example, and again, like I took it part from Tushtinarvai, I took part from Ola, because like we are all sharing experience, we are all sharing our stuff and learnings and everything throughout the year. So what I did is like calling Ola, right, calling Aquila and saying like, hey, I will do testing, and this time I want to do it really good, like because like in the previous times when we did like much simpler websites, actually, I was always like, the testing was like, yeah, it will somehow happen. But this year I was like, no, with this complicated website, I want to do it properly. I want to be sure that we don't have any bugs there when we launch it. So I created this website, and each line is actually a certain flow, and each line belongs to one colleague, and he is responsible for going through that flow and writing down if everything works as it was supposed to work. So this was, again, like super helpful, and that's actually everything from my part. And I give the word to Emilia.
Hi, so I'm Emilia from ITP, and so we recently banned cages in Slovenia and piglets castration, and for that, piglets castration without painkillers, and for that, to reach that, the right to page was super important tool. Like it gave opportunity for supporters to put the direct pressure on MPs, and. So I will share our experience working with Right to website. So to shortly present how it looked like, people could choose who politicians to write which website chooses 5.3 or however much they want to, and then we ask them to give their contacts to have, and. After we ask for donation, and then people can copy the emails of politicians. And even though this website was the best thing, but anyways, there were questions for people that they raised questions that they don't understand some things. So I want to share the questions that supporters raised. So first one was, where can I write emails? So there were confusions for people that they didn't understand if the website is for writing emails directly in or what. So we didn't make it clear that the website is just for copying the emails. Does this website send emails itself? So part of the people thought that they just they mark the politician and then the emails are sent automatically. And the third one, why do you keep asking me to write emails? So part of people just didn't see that they have to press confirm button, and that's why we didn't get the information that they completed the action. So our conclusion was that we would make a website as simple as possible. If it's like our website was complex, but we concluded that maybe there were too many options for people, and the flow was hard. So we thought we would rather give people to write personal emails, to choose to write to 5 MPs personal emails, or to all the MPs that where they click and then the emails are sent to everyone, as we did after with the other website. Other thing is that the confirm button was the big lesson, that we had to change this to make it visible. Please click there after, so we don't lose the information from people. And in general, that to make every step as clear as possible. Also, this website is just for copying emails. Then please click that, like as for a child, because to make it understandable. So quickly lessons that this was the most important tool for the pressure. Giving supporters clear instructions is the key to success, and making the website simpler can prevent from confusion. The other thing I want to share is about segmentation. So who and when wrote emails to MPs, how we managed that, because it was also the key decision in how we managed the right to campaign. So what we knew, that there will be 3 votes of MPs, and they will happen in the timeline of 3 months. And for that, we were thinking how to put the pressure on the MPs. So we thought every time we find out the dates for when the vote will happen, we can just start writing to supporters. The vote is that day, please write emails. And we thought there will be these peaks of the pressure on them. But the other thing, we were scared that maybe the pressure will go down, because after one time they will get the action, maybe they will not take the action the second time and the third time. So we rather thought we would make the pressure going on through the whole of all the votes, and we decided on this. And how did we make this happen? Was that we used segmentation. So all the 20,000 supporters that we have, we divided into A, B, C, D groups. So A group 5,000, B group 5,000, C and D the same. And then regular donors, so our closest supporters. And so how did we activate them? We started testing with regulars, so with the closest people. We asked them to write to MPs, but also give us feedback on how the website works. And this was a great decision, because the website didn't work, as Dominika already talked about this. So we had some time to fix that. Then we wrote to Group A, first 5,000 people, then Group B, and you see the pressure was growing. And then C and Group D. So before the second vote, we knew that we have to give bigger pressure than before. So we also wrote to all the previous groups and asking to write for the first time and plus for the second time for those who didn't write emails to MPs. And then at the end, before the last vote, we just wrote to everyone. And I didn't put it here, but there was a veto and then the fourth vote, and we also wrote to everyone. And after, and then with the highest urgency, people wrote the record amount of emails, which was, and then we got the ban. Yes, and so lessons here was that segmentation can help to manage supporters' pressure accordingly, and I very much recommend this. Thank you.
As I understand, we have 15 minutes left, or a bit more. So, but we have also questions. Ask your questions, right? So I will, okay, I'm Akvila Harner from Trštenarovai, Lithuania. And in Lithuania, in 3 years, we did 5 email writing campaigns. And during those campaigns, we got 46,000 emails sent to MPs or president, which is a lot for Lithuania because there are only tiny little bit of us here on this planet. But I will quickly go through those campaigns, just quickly. So the first one happened in 2023, and this was the first Right to campaign when we used actually the website that Emilia shared. It was about the fur farming ban, and yeah, we just asked people to write and ask MPs to vote for it. And in 13 days, we got 19,000 emails sent. Then a bit later, there was a second vote in the parliament, and in 2 days, we got 6,000 emails sent to MPs. Then the president had to sign it. We were pretty sure that he will, so we didn't push it that much. But in 5 days, he got 2,000 emails. And then last year, our fur farming ban was a bit threatened. Some MPs wanted to delay it into the next decade. And we asked people to write again, and in 15 days we got 15,000 emails. This year, not that long ago, the same thing happened. We again asked people to write to MPs, and in 4 days we got 4,000 emails. So all of this was achieved with the website that Emilia showed you. Like, it's very, very similar, so I didn't repeat it here. And to be completely honest, there was this one campaign we don't really talk about before all these 5, and we did it without the website. There was just this blog post with an email of the agriculture minister, and in 30 days we got 500 emails when not using the website, right? But apart from that, as you can see, our results are kind of consistent, and you can ask, like, okay, so how? And I sign under everything, every little thing these wonderful ladies said, and I won't repeat this. I want just to give you this extra little thing that maybe will help you when crafting your the copy on the website, right, or the email or the Facebook post that will help you make sure that people who see the message, see the ask, actually take action, right? So one thing that us in Tushtanarvay are doing, we are always before, when crafting the copies in the website or writing email or writing a Facebook post, we ask why. Okay, I imagine a person already saw my message. Why did the person not take the action? We ask this, right? And when you really dig into it, it's pretty clear they are afraid, right? Because, okay, I care about animals. I don't want them to suffer. I don't want for farming be legal in Lithuania anymore, but I'm not taking action. I'm afraid, right? And there are a couple of fears that you can address shortly in your every single copy, and especially in your website, that will increase how many people write to the decision maker. So fear number one, I will be the only one in that MP's email box. We are so afraid to stick out. We are super, super afraid. We don't want, oh my God, what if I made a mistake? Oh my God, what if my argument is off? Oh my God, what if they write back and I don't have anything to say? I so don't want my name to be seen. We are afraid of that, right? So how do you tackle this? First of all, everywhere we're mentioning how many emails were already sent. Every single email there is. We also put the number at the top of the email, for example, right? We sometimes do the progress bars. But overall, we celebrate. And now the question can arise, but what if there are not a lot of emails that were sent out, right? Guess what? People don't know how to interpret numbers. Like, we don't know. We don't know if 15 is a lot, if 1,500, okay, 1,500 is a lot. But if 15 or 50 or 150, whatever, we don't know what is a lot. So you saying a lot already means so much and can travel so far. So for example, if you got 10 emails that day and you want to say, hey, join these 10 people, like, can you imagine a person who got 10 emails with the same exact message in their email box? Like, you would definitely pay attention, right? You would start paying attention as a decision maker. So that's what you say, right? That's how you tackle fear number one. Fear number two, it will take too long. We think that MPs and those, I don't know, businessmen are so super smart and so super important, and we kind of look at them, I don't know, like, we just think that, oh, this email has to be perfect, right? I need to list all the, it has to be as if it's an appeal or something, right? Like, it has to be perfect. And you know what? No, it does not. What we do also, and it takes one sentence, is that we say, what you have to say is enough. If all you have to say is, please vote for, please stop selling whatever, then that is what you have to say. That's it. And that is enough. The most important thing is that your ask travels to their mailbox, right? Fear number three. Other people can do it better. We always think that what I have to say is not, like, it's not that important. I don't know, like, other people might have better arguments. Other people maybe care even more, right? We have this fear. Like, I invite you to imagine if you got an ask from an organization that is saving, I don't know, buildings, whatever. Like, you kind of want this building, right? But you don't know what to say. Like, yes, I care, but I don't know what to say, how to craft this, this ask for the MP or whatever. So, so how you do it? You just say it and keep repeating. You are the perfect person to do this because you care, right? You are the perfect person to do this. What you have to say is totally enough as long as your email travels to the decision maker. And the last thing, the fear is that they will not read my email. And this was mentioned by Ola, that it's really important to share the updates, right? Like, share every little thing that you hear, every little beep that the decision maker does, something little happens in the target. I don't know how to say it. You talk about it, and you talk about it as if it's the biggest deal the biggest deal. Like, oh, we heard that some MP said something to this MP, you write about it. Somebody left a comment, you write about it. You make the biggest deal about it there is. So that's that. I think I said everything I wanted to say, so let's repeat. What people are afraid of: sticking out, it taking too long, saying the right thing, and not making a difference. So what you do as often as you can, what you do with just a sentence in your email, right? Or the Facebook post, and definitely in the copy. They are not the only ones. It does not have to take long. They are the perfect person to do it. Progress is happening, right? And that's it. That's all I wanted to tell you. Thank you so much.
The clicker thingy, please. Thank you. Please upvote the questions and ask your questions, and in a moment we will start answering them. First, a short summary of key takeaways. Write to pages are a great tool if you incorporate them in a strategic way. And you should always remember they're just that. They are tools for you to use in your campaigns. And their effectiveness depends on your capacity. So, for example, do you have people that can actually take those actions? Do you have mailing list to send newsletters to? Do you have a good strategy, good theory of change? And what is the context? Is it urgent? What's happening? Like, for example, with the fur ban in Poland right now. And you need to consider all of those when planning to use the Write to Pages as one of your tools. And importantly, it seems like it's still like an open topic. So although we we are called experts here, it's like still quite new to use those kind of pages. And there are like new tools emerging still. For example, Active Voice from Tomasz that sits there, so also you can chat with him about his AI tool that can maybe improve conversion rates. We will be looking into collaborating on that. And that's it from us, and let's move to the questions.
We don't need to clap at this point. Do we? I'm dying to ask this. Tomasz, if you would receive a brief like Dominika showed us, would you be happy as a developer?
Yeah, definitely. As much detail. Yeah, I mean, the more details is always the best as a developer. I feel it's like writing a contract. Like, ambiguity is always the worst thing you want as a developer. So especially having all the, in the last slide you showed, with all the steps, like if I click here, then this happens. I think this is the best possible thing, yeah, for a developer. Yeah, short of a Figma with everything already drawn, but yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much. I want to really point that out, because these websites, we don't need to do them in-house. We can delegate, we can give money, we can ask to someone else who knows what they are doing to do it for us. But obviously we need to give them a good instructions. And sometimes everything crumbles because we are trying to do it from WordPress, I guess. How can we be sure that the emails have been sent if we are only asking people to check some boxes, checkboxes?
All right, so there are a few options. First, you can trust people. Because they care about animals and they have no incentive to lie, but of course they can just click around and not really do anything. I would assume around 80% of people who say they did it actually done it. That's at least what you can expect. But you can also increase your, how much you can be sure that they did it by including some hidden BCC email addresses for like technical email inboxes that then count up the email sent and can tell you if this specific person actually sent it. And that's how, for example, Active Voice tool works. And also Niklas from Anima International on the Norwegian version of the website has implemented the same, so it seems to be working quite well.
Sorry, just to clarify, so when a person copies the deputy's email, automatically another email address is copied, and when they paste it, it sends to both, right? That's your idea.
Maybe Thomas can answer.
So you can track actual emails being sent if you have a BCC which has a specific ID of the session of the user. Then for each session which each user enters the flow, they send the email, but they also send the BCC that you receive to confirm, okay, this specific email has been sent. This would not really work if users manually copy, but a lot of these campaigns pages might be using a mail to link where you click a button and this takes you to your mailbox with all the recipients already pre-filled. And then you can fill the main recipients, the CC and the BCC automatically, and the BCC will be your tracking email, if that makes sense. And in this case, if you don't generate the email with AI, you will leave the email content empty, and you will leave the people to write their own email. Sorry for long.
Thank you very much. All the questions you will ask Thomas after the session, he may use them as insights to improve his own tool. So please do ask him a lot. One thing, and just quickly for you, dear speakers, your projects, how much time did it take? And I'm not talking about the developer time only. I mean, since you decided, you're actually having it up and running.
Over a year.
I would say a few months. I would say 3 months maybe, something like that. Like we were talking about it a lot, but then like the real talks started to happen, then writing text started to happen, briefings. I don't know, I would say like 3 months, I guess.
I think around half a year. We started after Christmas and we just ended, so yeah.
Our Write2 page, we started developing it, I think, in 2019, and we only used it in 2023 for the first time because we kind of had it ready. Then we edited it, so I really can't say. But what I can say is when we had to reuse it, it was like that. We kind of just needed to change the copies a bit and then change the MPs list a bit, and that's it. So reusing it was super, super, super quick.
Yes, I've changed the question a bit from the one that was most upvoted, and I did it on purpose because the IT hours are there, they will be there, you will need to pay for them, that's fine, but still, even if you pay a developer 80 hours, 80 euros an hour, it's still the minimal part. The biggest costs are the staff time to actually have it decided, have it tested, and have it used. So it's quite a big project, and that's why you need to always support it with strategy. Do we actually need it? How do we want to use it? What are we going to achieve with it? And all that. So it's kind of integrated. Good.
I know it can take a long time, like it's a whole project, but as specifically IT time, because they're just really busy people and they have a lot to do. And I think they in general like to hear like how much time would it be expected to put in, so they can also sort of estimate the amount of work. So maybe there's some experience with amount of hours there.
Yes, and let's finish on that note, because Ola, turn into Max now? And can you give an answer for Max?
As if I was Max? I think 10 hours. No. Okay, so the estimations are usually too low. And we thought we could do it like in a month. And it took 1 year because it was big and complex. Right now, we have a project that is estimated for around 100 hours. But like a couple hundred of hours is to be expected. Like we are already over the time. So it's really like you cannot be sure with those estimates.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing because like we also asked our internal like IT department to build the website, and my experience is I would never do it again. I mean, like, come on, like they're so busy, right? Like you're saying it as well. Like we all know our IT departments are so busy because they have so many other tasks. They're like taking care of all the IT stuff, I don't know. But like they have a lot of tasks already, and now you are telling them, oh, now I need you for like a couple of months and you're not gonna do anything else, you know, because like this is so important and I need you to build a proper website. That's like so huge. It's like if somebody would like tell you like you continue your job, but like you're going to do another completely a different role as well at the same time, you know. So like my experience, like my learning from it is actually that like now we have the code, now the website is ready, so rebuilding it is much easier, of course. But like if I should build a new website, I would actually try to hire externals because I know I need my IT people for other stuff. And because of because they were building this website, they actually had to postpone so many other projects that like everybody is like everything is kind of delayed, you know. So like the better like option would be actually to hire externals. That's that. No questions?
Thank you so much. Mostly thank you folks for actually being so brave to put up with these difficult IT projects and for actually changing the world for the better. Thanks for the audience for paying attention, and hopefully finally we can get some free time in the after party.